It's another Sunday, it's another brawl, what are we doing?
Nonsense Rumble!
That's right, we've got another fun category today, but for those of you joining us for the first time, what we do is we pick a category and we pick someone who fits into that category and we argue why our guy will beat your guy.
Yeah, we fight them with our words.
Absolutely. Rick, what's the category today?
A fictional wrestler, realistic, not kinnikuman.
Yeah, if we picked a kinnikuman, if we didn't have that, caveat, it would be so I'm going to pick Ultimate Muscle's father because he's the best in the universe and he can do a pile driver from space.
Yeah, or the time the Hulk put on some luchador trousers.
Yeah, bullshit like that. So with that in mind, Rick, do you have an honorable mention today?
My honorable mention is Bane. He's a powerful luchador even without his venom, but I already used him.
You did.
Which is why I've not picked him.
You did. Although that being said, Bane with his venom is technically that's a legal move. That's still a realistic wrestler. Wrestlers take steroids all the time.
Yeah, totally. But yes, how about you? Do you have an honorable mention this week?
My honorable mention is Suicide. He was an OC made for the TNA video game. He was not a real wrestler. They just made him up for the video game for the story mode. And then they went, I've got an idea, let's make him real. So Suicide joined the TNA roster and he was portrayed by about half the roster.
So it's whoever, what is it?
Whoever's not booked
Mike
today,
from out of
you're
town
putting
or
the
something,
fucking costume on.
Yeah, someone who's not running that day, or someone who is exiled in kayfabe.
Stuff like that, yeah. I think the best guy who portrayed him was probably Christopher Daniels, but that's arguable.
You said that, and I immediately went to Anthony Daniels, and that's 10 times funnier.
What, the Wizard? Wait, no, I'm getting confused.
That's Paul Daniels. Anthony Daniels is C-3PO.
Oh, we've all fucked up today.
Yeah, Anthony Daniels is C-3PO.
I thought you meant the Wizard.
You're thinking about Paul Daniels.
You gotta stop having people named Daniels. Oh, Rick, who's your actual pick today?
My actual pick is from Final Fight and sometimes Street Fighter, Mayor Mike Hagar.
That's a pretty good pick. That is a strong pick. So straight up, that guy is based off of Jesse Ventura, a real wrestler.
Yeah, he's the dude is built like a bear. He is a extremely powerful guy just by strength of muscle, and he's been champion multiple times. He kicked his ass to the position of mayor and only left the position to his number 2 so he could go and fight more.
Yeah, that's all accurate. This is a strong pick. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm digging it.
Yeah. I like the guy. I think he's cool. I think he has a decent shot of fighting most realistic foes.
When you mentioned Street Fighter, I thought you were gonna say Zangief.
No. I think Hagar might actually beat Zangief.
Oh, you're wrong.
Okay, yeah, he gets his head crushed between thighs. But yes, that's my pick. Who's going to be your pick today?
Yeah, my pick, unsurprisingly, is also from a fighting game, although it's also a Japanese fighting game.
Okay.
He comes from Tekken, and his name is Armor King.
Okay.
So Armor.
Okay.
Here's the thing: is that we're kind of straddling a little bit the borders of realistic wrestler because he does have a jaguar head. However, it's very much, despite being incredibly realistic and being able to move, and he communicates via growls, it is technically a mask.
Okay.
And he doesn't fire fireballs or any of that bullshit. So.
Yeah, he's a normal guy doing very well in a superpowered world.
Absolutely. He's 100% a Mexican wrestler, as is his protege King. Armor King technically died.
Okay.
Very sorry about that cough. The original Armor King got killed in the ring by Marduk. The current Armor King was his identical twin brother.
Okay.
So him and King still knock about at the same times. And he's got a very competent grappler moveset mixed in with drop kicks. He's also hench as fuck. I don't think he's as hench as Hagar, but he's up there. I think he could definitely. I think we've got a match. I think this would be close, competitively.
Yeah, I'm even looking up. Other people have actually also done this versus as a thought experiment, and I'm not seeing any conclusive thoughts other than that someone went, "Oh, this is really more of Tekken versus Final Fight," and that's.
Well, I mean, yeah, here's the thing, is like, you got to take into account individual game mechanics to a certain degree, but like, I can't tell you any technical moves Hagar performs. He's all about the power moves with like power slams, power bombs, pile drivers. He just fucking wrecks you with power moves, whereas Armor King does pile drivers and suplexes and stuff, but he also very much does grapples. He does submissions. You can see him do arm bars and leg locks very briefly, so
Sure.
It's one of those, like, this is a classic matchup of power versus technical skill.
Yeah, and I think the real problem with getting Hagar into any kind of grapple is that if he has any part of him that's free, that's probably enough for him to launch you somewhere and then turn the tables.
No, but here's the problem, is that because Armor King regularly fights dudes with laser beam powers,
Sure.
he doesn't keep grapples on. He'll do a grapple to get you into a throw. When he does submission moves, he doesn't lock it in. He does a wrench to try and break the bone and then lets go. He doesn't try and keep things locked in because he's too smart for this.
Yeah, it's a quick, methodical, and efficient HP drain rather than a 10-minute 1, 2, 3 count.
Absolutely, and I think we need to stress that usually we don't have an IV rule, we don't have a specific battlefield, but we're doing wrestlers. This is happening in a ring.
Yeah, like it would be silly for it not to be in the ring.
So we're not even doing a battle to the death here. We're doing a battle for a free count.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way: I don't think either guy's winning by submission. It'll have to be like pinning someone to the mat.
Yeah, it'll be a pin, a KO, which I think is frowned upon in wrestling.
It's not really a thing unless the match stipulation says it has to be a KO.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that's also realistic wrestling, or not realistic wrestling, like kayfabe wrestling. It's like you're not knocking someone out because that's bad.
Yeah, that literally shortens someone's life. Yeah.
It's one of those. Again, it's technical versus power, and this match has been done to death. This might have to be a coin flip because I genuinely think if these people had like a best of 5, it would come down to the 5th match.
Yeah, I think so. I think the one thing that's in favor of Armor King is that even though it's power versus technique, as you say, he does have power, and that is something that a lot of power versus technique fights lose on.
Yeah, he's got power, but when you're comparing him to fucking Hagar, he doesn't.
Yeah, it's like Thor versus the Hulk. Like, Thor is strong, but he's not Hulk strong.
Depends on what comic you read, but I get your point.
Yeah.
It's one of those, so it's going to have to be like a coin flip. Unless we get into dirty tactics.
Which I think Mike Hagar would disapprove of.
I think Armor King would totally accept an assist from King.
Yeah. If he does, it's pronounced does. If he does, then the English fail. Yeah, if he does, then that might actually be just an instant win. But that's really stretching the if clause. A second fighter.
Assuming it's a normal one-on match, if we're doing like a WWE video game and we're setting the rules on a normal one-on-one match, and disqualification is in effect, that would be a DQ, meaning Hagar would win. So therefore, Armor King would not rely on it.
Yeah. So, are you picking heads or tails?
All right, before you flip, we'll do 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Because you've done this to me before where you've gone, do you want to do 2 out of 3? And it's like, well, don't say that after we've already flipped 1 coin.
Sure. So 2 out of 3.
Yeah, okay. So
coin are you picking the same one for all 3?
I will pick the coin between each flip. Does that sound fair?
Sure.
Alrighty. So for the first flip, I'm going to say heads.
First flip is tails.
You said that incredibly longly, Rick. It makes me distrust you.
It was would you like me to share my screen?
I don't want you to share your screen. That's me saying, can you not do that?
Yeah, I was doing the ears while it was flipping on the Google Flip.
Yeah, I don't like that. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. Plus, it's now...
Yeah.
And it also means that now has a stretch of dialogue that doesn't get shortened to nothing because there's no silence.
Yeah, it's the freaking I'm a celebrity pause.
Cool. Second coin flip, I'll stick with heads.
Heads. You got tails.
Okay, in which case Hagar wins. That doesn't mean I agree with this result, but it is what the coin dictates.
Yeah, and flip number 3 was also tails.
Doesn't mean anything because I didn't call it, and
yeah.
And also, Rick, you're supposed to make the announcement.
Yes. So Hagar wins.
It's such a hollow victory because it was decided by coin flip.
Yeah. Like, it always feels bad that way, but sometimes it's the only way I win.
I think if we're going to start introducing me keeping track of wins, I think we should just straight up have a draw option.
Yeah.
But I also think it has to be when we both really think our guy will win. Like, we can't cheapen our scores by constantly picking draws, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just to stop someone else from getting, like, 2 in a month.
Oh, that's not even what I mean. I just mean, like, if every other
Yeah.
rather matches a draw. That's fucking boring.
Yeah. Like, this was I'm not saying high stakes, but like a high power level within the bracket draft.
Yeah, we both
And,
picked
yeah.
fucking heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So, I'll concede it this time, begrudgingly, that Hagar wins.
Yaha.
It doesn't sting because I'm a wrestling fan, not at all. And, join us again next week, guys, for another
Nonsense Rumble!